It is 4:07. I'd like to call the Bay County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Krieger.
Yes.
Begay.
Here.
Coonan.
Here.
Herrick.
Here.
Ryder.
Here.
Lutz.
Here.
Here. Durancheck.
Here.
All members present. Can you hear me well enough?
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we come before you this afternoon, asking that you will bless this session of the County Commission. Lord, we ask that you will give to its members the courage of their own conviction, so that they might work for the common good of all, with the strength and confidence placed in them by election to office. May your divine providence guide our county and bring dignity, prosperity, respect, and order to every citizen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
under God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hoorah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Minutes of 3/17/2020. What's your pleasure?
I'll move the minutes.
Support.
We have motion and support to approve the minutes of 3/17/2020. Roll call vote, please.
We start with Commissioner Herrick today.
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, minutes approved.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Citizen input. Anyone from out there in Zoom land like to comment?
I want to be on your Zoom call.
Hearing none, we'll move ahead to Petitions and Communications. Request for appointment to the Bay County Library Board. Madam Clerk, how do we want to handle that as far as Vaughn's got a notepad here, and I'm sure you do too.
Okay, we can tally the roll.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's 2 people sent in, and for the position, Sue Blondin, who is the incumbent, and a Matthew Bosco.
Okay, so we'll start the voting with Commissioner Ryder. Your choice, sir.
Blondin.
Commissioner Lutz.
London.
Commissioner Krieger.
Sue.
Commissioner Begic.
London.
Coonan.
Sue Blondin.
Herrick.
Blondin.
And Durancheck.
Sue Blondin.
7 votes cast for Sue Blondin for the Bay County Library Board. Motion carries.
Thank you, ma'am. We need a motion to accept.
So move. Support.
We have a motion to accept Sue Blondin for the position open on the Bay County Library Board. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Lutz.
Yes.
Commissioner Krieger.
Yes.
Begic.
Yes.
Coonan.
Yes.
Herrick.
Yes.
Yes.
Ryder. And Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we go to reports and resolutions of the committees. Ways and Means, Commissioner Herrick, chairman of that committee. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner Chairman. I bring before you resolution number 2020-106, the 2020 Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Grant Program. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any questions? Roll call vote.
Commissioner Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Eric, Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yeah.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-107, the amendment to the Pinconning School Resource Officer Contract. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Begic? Sorry, Mr. Begic, is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Resolution number 2020-108, the amendment to the Bay City Public Schools School Officer Contract. I move that resolution.
Support. Begic.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yeah.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carried.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-109, the acceptance of FFCRA and the CARES Funding Award. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Start with Commissioner Herrick, please.
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
and Coonan,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carried.
Resolution number 2020-110, Equipment End of Life State Grant. I move that resolution. Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-111, grant funds for equine facilities improvements. I move that resolution. Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Hick, Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-112, the Active Assailant Task Force. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Resolution number 2020-113, the payables from general. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yeah.
Krieger,
yes,
Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Resolution number 2020-114, the technical support and services from Bay Metro. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Coonan,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yeah.
No, it's fine. You'll be done by 4, right?
Krieger.
yes,
Thank you. Begic
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-115, the RFP for audit services. I move that resolution.
Support, Begic.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Herrick,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yeah.
Krieger,
yes,
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next three items are to be received. The annual report of balance and land sale proceeds accounts. I'll move to receive that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Discussion, Commissioner Coonan.
Yeah, if Shauna could give a brief description of that, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. So this is an annual report that by state law to report to you the proceeds of our auction sales. So this is from the 2015 tax year, which means the foreclosure occurred in 2018. So this would have been the last year that Rick was here. And you can see the gross proceeds that were collected, reimbursing the delinquent tax revolving fund, the amount that we spent on cleaning up the properties and delinquent utilities. We're also reporting the loss of the tax year from the previous or the subsequent sale in 2016, giving the total loss of $376,728. So there are no available transfers to the general. I've also just listed on here as a contingent liability the Raffaelli lawsuits are the lawsuits pending against all of the county treasurers across the state. They want the entire tax process to be changed. So that's listed as a contingent liability until it's decided by the Michigan Supreme Court, hopefully soon.
So, Shauna, in the 2021 budget, we annually get some money from the treasurer's office in regards to that particular transaction. Is this going to affect how much we would receive?
This is pretty consistent with the reports from previous years. This is particularly just about the actual auction and not the entire delinquent tax revolving fund system. So I believe what you are referring to is another memo that I submitted in July or August recommending my approved transfer to the general fund, which last year was a $1.1 million transfer to the general fund.
For 2020.
That was for 2020, yes.
Okay, thank you.
An upcoming projection for 2021.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
yes,
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Durancheck,
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carried, and that was just a motion to receive the report. Is that correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Thank you.
The analysis of the general fund equity for 2020, I'll make a motion to receive that also.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries.
Thank you, ma'am.
And the executive directive number 2007-11, I'd like a motion to receive that also.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Call vote, please.
Commissioner Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to receive is carried.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, that is all from the Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you, Commissioner Harry. Personnel and Human Services, Commissioner Ryder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have Resolution 2020-116, vacancies in 911 Central Dispatch. I will move this resolution.
Support. Begic.
We have motion and support. Any discussion?
I see Chris is on there. I just wanted to ask him how his staffing is doing. Is Chris on?
I'm on, sir.
Okay, I was just wondering how your overall staff is doing there, Chris.
Overall, we're doing okay. Yeah, holding our own. Our staffing levels are well, and morale is good. Yeah.
And your group of people waiting to become.
We've got one more person on our hiring list, and then we're actually starting another round of hiring. We had to rebuild how we're hiring because we don't want to have people in the building until their first day, which is really unusual for us. So we worked with our vendor, which is our critical testing software, and we're doing that online. So we're going to self-select for those folks using Indeed, where people will actually take the test and submit their application, and we'll only review those that are that actually pass the test. So in some ways, it'll actually make our process a little more expedient. And then we're going to take those individuals who both pass and we like their resumes and conduct online kind of Zoom type of interviews. So that's our next goal through the month of June, to make sure we keep that list full. And that's where we're at now.
And about how many do you tend to have on your list, Chris?
We like to keep about 5 people. So normally our previous process, we go through 300 resumes and narrow that down to 10 people, 12 people who pass the test, and then get maybe 4 or 5 candidates for our list from there. But I know that there's a lot of individuals out in the community right now are looking for work. So hopefully we can take that as an opportunity and find some really good candidates in the near future.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome, sir.
Anyone else? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution carries.
And from the Office of Assigned Counsel, we have monthly reports for February, March, and April of 2020. I would move this to receive this.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes. Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Chair Durancheck. Mike Durancheck.
Yes.
Alrighty, 7 yeas, 0 nays.
That's all we have before you today, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. From the Board of Commissioners, Vice Chair, Commissioner Lutz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today I bring resolution 2020-117, which is the reports of the county executive. I move to receive those.
Support, Begic.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Herrick,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution carries.
And that's all I have from the board. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Reports of the county officials. Mr. Barsha.
Uh-oh.
He's muted.
Bottom left. Maybe.
He's muted. Muted, Jim.
Good, no?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, thank you. I bumped something, I guess. So I just wanted to say that we've really done well, I think, in Bay County, containing the number of positive individuals with regard to the COVID-19. And of course, if you compare our numbers, and especially our deaths, we've compared very well to those other counties in the region. And I know that Joel Strauss has probably an update if there's an opportunity for him to speak on our recent little hotspot that we had here in Bay County. Those people have left, and he might want to explain that. But other than that, I think everything is going very well in terms of our dealing with this significant challenge to the health of our residents throughout Bay County. So that's pretty much, I guess, what I have. We're going to continue, and I don't know if Jan would want to comment on pursuing any and all federal and state resources to make up for any budget shortfalls that we'll experience as a result of the pandemic. So.
Right. We're still waiting to hear on the HEROES Act. That's still sitting in legislation, waiting to see if we get any local funds. We still have, I estimated around $508,000 that we will lose from revenue sharing. And we have additional 130. So for 630,000 is what we're estimating a loss of revenue right now. There are other revenues that we're going to be short on just from fines and forfeitures and different things from the courts, and we don't have a good way to calculate that at this time, so we're just going to watch everything. We do also have some reduction in expenses along the way too that are going to help us out, so we're just going to watch that as it goes. Again, the information changes every day, but we're watching it. The way it looks for revenue sharing, which is our biggest funding source, it looks like it'll take us 4 years to actually regroup as to where we were in 2019, unless additional funds come available through the federal government that we're watching closely.
Jan, I just have a question, and thank you for the report. I noticed on the report there was a $50,000 an amount there. Visitors Bureau, isn't that just a pass-through?
Yes, but they're estimating through the state that the reduction will happen because of the loss of the stays in the hotels and different things like that. It's just an estimate at this time. They're saying in August the state will have another revenue conference, so we're going to wait on that to see what happens. But it is, yes, just an estimate at this time.
Okay, thank you. Visitors Bureau will have a presentation, I believe, for us next month. So they'll kind of fill in what they've done to reduce their expenses and things also. Commissioner Lutz?
Yeah, I've been seeing a little bit, has the state, Jan, let loose with the funds that they got from the federal government to the local counties?
They have not distributed anything or made any announcements yet. I was on a call earlier today, and they are just starting to evaluate what they're going to do with the funding they received from the CARES Act for the state of Michigan.
Commissioner Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, the MAC board met last Friday, and they're trying to get whatever they can out of the state, whatever funds. Yeah, they haven't distributed a whole lot yet, but they are negotiating with them to get money back to the counties as best they can. So, more to follow.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? I think we need a roll call vote. No, we are on reports of county officials. Mr. Strauss, would you like to give us an update on the Joel, are you out there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's kind of a good news, bad news scenario. The good news is that as Jim Barsha mentioned, that our confirmed cases are relatively low compared to some of our neighboring counties. Our deaths or fatalities are relatively low compared to some of the neighboring counties. We've done extensive work in working with local businesses and local organizations, and especially working with the departments within the county government. There's still a lot of work and efforts that we need to work on, but I'm kind of cautiously optimistic in that regards that we're moving in the right direction. We've been dealing with the situation, though, however, in the past couple of days where we have an outside company that has come in and residing in Bay County to work in the Midland cleanup efforts, and they've got an outbreak amongst their employees. And this is a number of employees with limited English proficiency, and a number of them, contrary to the guidance that we provided to quarantine and isolate themselves, have actually returned to their home states in Texas and Florida. We are working with officials from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and we're working with this company as well as folks in Midland as well. I don't really want to comment more on this other than that there was a spike over the weekend in the number of positive cases, and it's related to these individuals that tested positive. We're hoping to get the situation resolved fairly soon, and it once again underlies the fact that the virus is very, very serious. It's a very, very serious thing. We're not over this yet, and it can spread very, very easily. And this is an instance where it was actually brought in from persons not residing in Bay County. So that's one thing that we need to take into consideration.
Okay, thank you very much for the update.
I have a question for Joel.
Yeah, Commissioner Begic.
About nursing homes. I've sort of been following the nursing home reports online because my mom is in one.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got 3 in the one that she's in, but I still see there's one that's still fairly high out on West Side Saginaw Road. So I know they're monitoring that. And they did actually have the National Guard come in to do testing at my mom's. However, she would not allow them to stick the swab up her nose because she didn't like the looks of it. So she didn't get tested. So, but she seems to be okay. So.
Okay. Well, let me speak for a few minutes on long-term care facilities. So as you know, or you may not know, staff at the health department led by Dr. Thomas Bender have been extensively providing guidance and outreach and education to long-term care facilities. And we've been doing this for over 2 months. A few weeks ago, we were notified that by the state police, that the National Guard would be coming into Bay City to provide testing at these facilities.
In the
The
back.
good news is that they did provide the testing. The bad news is that these tests went out to a laboratory in New Jersey, and we still haven't received the results as of today. And it's been, I believe, 8 days since those tests have been performed. This is not unusual, and this is throughout the state with this particular laboratory, and a number of local health departments have expressed displeasure to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services on such the long turnaround for testing. So as soon as we get those tests, we will know. But in particular, the facilities out on West Side Saginaw Road and one in Hampton Township, they have done extensive work to turn their situation around. And we're seeing some pretty good results with stopping the spread of the virus there.
All right, thank you. Anyone else have any questions? Commissioner Krieger.
Yep. So Joel, can you give us an update on the numbers then, as far as how many cases, how many have recovered, and our deaths?
Sure. Let me go to the dashboard and see where that is. I believe as of this morning, we were at 445 cases. I'm waiting for the dashboard update here. It usually updates around this time, so there may be some new numbers on here. I'm sorry, 345 cases. There are about 280 persons that have recovered of those known cases, 546 negative cases, and 26 fatalities.
Thank you. Kim?
Anyone else? Commissioner Coonan.
Yeah, real quick. Joel, I had the serology test last week, and I'm producing antibodies. I'm trying to donate plasma, but I'm not sure if there's a big demand for that because the number I call goes to a voicemail, and the voicemail's full. So is there a need for plasma at this time?
Well, there are a number of healthcare facilities that are doing what they call convalescent plasma therapy. I know that it was attempted a few times here at McLaren. I'm not sure if that is the case still, but I will find out. But there are a number of healthcare facilities downstate and around this area that are collecting. But it's still a good idea to get blood. There's still a demand for that, and plasma services will be needed as well.
Well, I'd like to, but if I could find out, I know they do it in Saginaw. They'll take the plasma in Saginaw,
sure.
But they said you got to register online, and we tried that, and I tried calling. So if you can find out, get me a number where I can go give. I'd drive downstate to give it if that's the case, you know.
Sure, absolutely, we'll do.
Anyone else? Commissioner Bick?
On the plasma, a friend of mine also tried to donate, and he said there weren't enough donors, and there was some reason that they weren't taking any now. There weren't enough donors in the area, so maybe they are doing it more downstate or in Saginaw. So apparently there wasn't enough people wanting to donate in this area that he could donate. Did talk to somebody, he said.
Any other comments or questions? If not, we'll move on to unfinished business. I don't think we have any. New business, none on the agenda. Miscellaneous, I just have one comment as usual. IT, thank you very much. Good job for a good meeting and putting all this together. Thank you so much. Announcements, anyone have any announcements?
One quick question for Tiffany Jerry. The commissioners, are we able to defer some of our pay? Is there any plan for us? I know we're doing it for the employees, but I'd be willing to defer some for the next 6 weeks if there's a way of doing that we can do. So want to offer it.
Okay, if you're referring to the work share program, elected officials, we don't pay into the unemployment compensation fund for elected officials, so we wouldn't be able to enroll elected officials into the work share program. I think Amber would have to comment on whether you can defer any of your salary. I believe that there may be a statute that governs that.
Yeah. If there's a way we can do it, I'd be willing to do it.
Sure. With the elected officials, because their salary is set by, well, in your particular case, the board sets your salary at the beginning of your term. It's not supposed to change during the course of your term. But if you wanted to donate some of it, you could. The problem that you run into is you sort of get a double whammy because you pay all of your taxes on it and then you donate it, but you still take the hit for that. So, you know, that's something that you could do if you wanted to, but unfortunately the way elected officials are set up, you're really not paid by the hour or by the day worked. It's just a salary that gets split into 26 different payments.
The county's not a charitable organization, right?
If that makes any sense.
Okay. Any other comments?
Can you hear me?
Actually, it can be considered a charitable organization.
What was that, Amber?
I said that actually a government entity, and Jan can add on to this too if she feels it necessary, but a government entity can be considered a charitable organization.
All right, very good. Any other comments? If not, we'll move on. No other announcements. Appointments, October, Land Bank Authority. We have one 3-year term. Department of Health and Human Services, Board of Directors. We have one 3-year term. In November, we have a Building Authority, one 6-year term. In December, Department of Aging Advisory Committee, 4 2-year terms, Districts 2, 4, 6, and an at-large. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support. We have motion to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Big Ick?
Yes.
Hoonan?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
And Durancheck?
I'm not going to be outdone by Vaughn. Yes.
Got our mask here. Got to advertise.
All right. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.